On this, I'm gonna do this Bluebonnet, and what I did is I cut all these out on the plasma cutter. I cut a bunch of different pieces. So I got some individual leaves, some big cluster leaves, and then a bunch of these flower heads that are gonna get bent down and shaped. So what I'm trying to do is make a pattern where I can cut just a few parts out, and then repetition, you know, give me some repeatability, but not exactly. I wanna be able to make a Bluebonnet stem with some flowers, but I want to be able to cut all the pieces out so they're easy to cut out and clean up, so they look different as I go. So I want to make it a little more repeatable, so it's easy to cut these shapes. So like this is going to be bent to make into the flower piece and then welded to the stem. These are some individual flowers, like I said, and some clusters. I'm going to drill some holes in these clusters because I think that way I can just run the stem through them and then bend them into shape. So I'm going to get everything bent and shaped a little bit, and then I'll weld everything together. It should be pretty quick. So let's see what we can do. Got all my parts cleaned up, got all my leaves bent, so I got them in the shape, extra leaves. I got a couple of pieces that I'm going to use as stems, and then I'll start putting the flowers on. I'm going to use this old piece of metal here just as a base to start with. I'm going to tack weld these stems to it, and then I'm going to build the flower up from that, and then I'll cut it off and mount it to something else later. I'm going to start by cutting this. Actually, I may need to straighten that one a little bit. It's bent a little bit too much. I'm gonna start with this one, put this one on. And then this is gonna be the main stem. I'll just bend him just a little bit. So it kind of comes up like this. And then we'll put the Bluebonnet on that. So we're going to tack this one in place. Let's get him tacked up. You can see that was arcing a little bit. That's because this piece of metal here sitting on top of these slag beads. I need to clean my table, and the bottom of this plate's not very clean. So all right, now that we've got that in place, we can go ahead and start figuring out where we want to tack some of these leaf heads. Let's go ahead and put that one somewhere like that. I'm not sure if it's going to want to weld from the top or the bottom. For right now, I'm just going to tack it. Then I can come back and do a little more finish welding on them once I'm done. Let's put one over here. This last one I might actually put down over this stem and put him somewhere like this. And then I'm gonna put some of those extra leaves in there to kind of fill in and be some growth points. Oops. Not sure if I like that there yet. I may need him to be down further. Let's go ahead and put him here, and then we'll see. Let's just leave him kind of level. And we'll see if we like that as we work on it. So, all right, we're gonna work on this and kind of put a few more pieces together. All right, got all these flowers bent. So now we're gonna start putting the petals on. So I'm gonna start out up here at the top, I think, and work my way down. Get my welding helmet on here and we'll sit there. See if we can't get these to line up how we want. Kind of like this one is my starting point. I'm gonna lay this up here, I'm gonna tack it. I may have to lay this down so I can get at that weld a little better. The first one on there. You know what? I think at this point I can take that off of there since it broke off. And I'm gonna work my way up the stem. Let me get a brush so I can clean this thing up as we go. All right, I got most of the top on there. Now let's come back and let's put some of these individual leaves down here on the bottom to kind of fill in the bottom a little bit. Kind of fix it up. We'll tack a couple of these in place, see if we like it. Then we'll clean the whole thing up, figure out what we're gonna mount it on. All right, I found this rock that I had laying around. It's actually sitting up here on my workbench for a couple years now. So I drilled a hole in it, and this is gonna sit down in here. I may bend this just a little bit to get it back kind of where I'm happy with how it's sitting. Maybe turn it and bend it back the other way. But I'll epoxy this in place. But for right now, what we're going to do is we're going to take some, take this off of here. We're going to take a torch and we're going to blue this up a little bit. So let's see what we can do. I use this bluing technique a lot. Just takes a little bit of propane. Once you get your torch lit, then you start heating these pieces up. These are already kind of blue from the welding, so they shouldn't really take a lot to kind of go ahead and heat them up and turn them blue. You'll see they'll turn copper kind of color first. These may not because they're already kind of blue, like I said, so I just want to go ahead and kind of make sure I finish them off and get them as dark blue as I can with this. This will be kind of a natural finish on here versus a painted color. I've done ones with painted colors before. I just kind of like this bluing because I think it kind of makes it a little more natural on the metal, but it just takes a little bit of time. You got to take your time, go over them, heat them up. I think I looked it up. I think it actually says it's got to get up to about 450 degrees before it'll start turning. But like I said, these have been welded, so these have been hot before. So a lot of them are already kind of blue to begin with. I don't know that they're going to turn too much darker. But I'll go through and kind of keep going on this piece and see if I can't get these done. And I'm going to leave all the leaves and the stems a bright color, and then we'll put a little clear coat on this thing and epoxy it into the rock to finish it up. This project's actually pretty quick because with the CNC cutter cutting out all the pieces, it really speeds up the process of getting my raw material parts where I can just go back and do a little bending and shaping and start putting them together. But the thing I do like about it is I could cut out thousands of these parts, but I would never build two flowers that looked exactly the same just because of the way they go together. So they're still unique pieces. So far I'm real happy with the result. It's looking good. I think it's got a nice finish on it. And the detail level's about what I wanted. But I've only got about maybe 30 minutes in this project so far, so it's actually really quick to put together. Not including cutting them out. That took a little bit of time, but once I got it going good, they cut out really quickly. I got this Bluebonnet finished. Turned out really nice. I think the way it worked is really good. I like that I was able to cut all these parts out on my CNC plasma cutter and then bend them, shape them, and weld them to this thing. It's a really quick project. So I think I'm gonna do some more of these in the future, and I'll probably do a bigger scene where it's a whole bunch of Bluebonnets together, make them all different sizes. So I may have to build a whole bunch of these things and then figure out how I'm gonna mount them. But I really like how it came out. The bluing works good on these. It just kind of gives it an extra little bit. I can actually bend this just a little bit more now that I'm looking at it. I think that looks a little better. That's the nice thing about these is you can kind of adjust it as you need to. I could bend these leaves if I need to back too. So this was a good project. Like I said, I think I'm gonna do more. I really like that my pieces work out, and I think all these pieces bend and look good. So this is going to be a future project I'll do more of. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.